All right, back for another week of the Bush League boys. Second week back from our
Hiatus?
6-month
Retirement?
hiatus.
Decided 6 months retirement. Yeah,
Pulled
I don't think
the
it's hiatus
Tom
at this
Brady
point.
just a little longer. So back for another week. We're going to be diving into some football stuff this week. We're going to touch on the college football championship as that wrapped up after the last time we met. Touch on a couple things going on around baseball, Ohtani signing with the Dodgers and what that's going to mean for baseball. And then we'll finish up with another Mount Rushmore at the end. As seems to be a common theme now, Jared is back joining us again.
God damn it.
That's by unpopular demand.
Can't get rid of this guy, dude, for real.
We tried
Saving my
changing the
flex
link. He
time.
found it.
Dude, yeah. Adding him to the Discord was just the worst decision we could have possibly made. Just absolutely,
it was awful.
absolutely fucked us.
He doesn't even know how to use
that thing
Discord.
since you
He's
told me
just
to
there.
download it.
Yeah, that's what he wants us to believe. So I figure just to kick things off, because it's the most prevalent thing going on in basically the entire sports world right now, we'll go over Wild Card Weekend. I'm sure even if you're not a major football fan, you have some kind of idea what is going on around Wild Card Weekend. It's been absolute chaos.
Chris, I got 4 words for you.
Go,
Jordan
Pack,
Love
go.
is the shit. Oh, that's 5.
No,
Jordan Love the shit. Yeah.
How about them Cowboys?
Oh my god, dude! Cowgirls are absolutely the
Hey, just
worst
remember-
football
Once I'll say it
franchise.
again. The Cowgirls are the Mets of football.
Hey, just remember, next year is their year. It's always next year.
It's always next year.
It's
always
All
next year.
So here we can skip around a little bit because I have a list of all the games right here, but we can start with the Cowboys one because obviously that was the biggest
That's-
embarrassment in all of football this year.
Biggest stinker.
Cowboys fucking choking yet again to nobody's surprise, losing to a 7 seed, the first time that's ever happened since they changed the playoff format. Not just losing, but getting absolutely fucking bent
They got their
over.
shit rocked.
What was
They
it
got shit
27-0 at a half?
27-7.
Seven,
Cowboys
seven,
got a
right.
got a
Yeah.
Garbo TD with no time left. But
And the Packers literally were all the way off of the pedal for the entire fourth
Yeah.
quarter.
no, they could have easily put up
All the
50.
way.
But
Put 60, you mean?
yeah, I mean
70?
70, 80, yeah. 48-32 is the final, putting up 48 points while you're basically conceding all offensive procedures for the last quarter of the game is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was
So we can talk about Jordan Love just a little because him and CJ Stroud's stat lines, I don't know if you guys saw that, were
Identical.
basically identical. aside
Yeah.
from
same
two passing
QBR and
yards.
everything.
2 passing
Yeah.
yards was the only difference. That was it.
Right.
Everything else was down to a fucking T, the exact same.
Right.
That's so strange. But Dak sucked. Nobody's surprised. Dak's
I'm not surprised at all.
got to find a new job. I mean, I don't think he's the long-term answer in Dallas. He's been there for forever and a day now and has nothing to show for it.
I think I told you last night, Chris, the Jerry Jones quote when he was asked about the game. He said, "This is my most surprise since being involved in sport." I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, this dude is being kept alive by modern science. His brain is a bowl of gabagool. It's fucking
I
big
was,
old bowl of minestrone soup.
I was
There's
watching
nothing going on up there. The only thoughts rolled around his brain are racist.
I was watching an interview with him. It was the one where he said he was floored, and he's like just going on like this whole thing about how he is floored and how nobody cares that he is floored, but he is, and he's disappointed in everybody in the organization. I'm like, I mean,
Buddy, you're the owner. Fire everyone.
it's
Go find
you.
people.
You hired these people.
Yeah.
This was you.
All I'll say is there's a great quote by Albert Einstein, and I think it explains like the Cowboy situation perfectly. Is insanity is described as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. It's literally the fucking Cowboys. They don't do anything different. Yeah, they're great in the regular season, but they don't change anything once they get to the fucking playoffs. They don't have that switch. So every year they're just doing the same shit and getting the same result.
Everybody thinks that they're legit every single. You play in the NFC East. You're playing against the Eagles, the Commanders, the Giants.
Yeah.
If the Patriots played in that division, they'd probably go 12-4 too, and we suck ass.
And we'll see tonight. The Eagles are not great either. So
I mean, no, the Eagles.
they made the Super Bowl last year, but
I think they're going to get exposed tonight, and everybody's going to. I mean, I'm calling it right now. The Buccaneers are winning that game. Just saying.
What do you think the score is going to be?
27-17.
Baker goes off.
I think that Eagles defense isn't what it
This
used
has a
to be.
career-making game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Baker's gonna get paid based off of this game alone.
Oh, fucking Jalen Hurts is going to be playing with a cockeyed finger. No AJ Brown. It's a miracle this dude's even going to be able to hold on to a football.
Oh, he's actually playing tonight?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit!
Are you kidding me? He'd be playing regardless if he had to go out there and throw that shit fucking lefty.
You're right.
Not that he really is much of a passer anyway. He's more of a runner.
He'll
but
run with the ball.
A subject. That's a subject for another day. Jumping back to the top, Cleveland and Houston. Joe Flacco laying an absolute stinker against Houston.
Listen, he's 74 years old.
I was gonna say,
quite literally got pulled out of the retirement home to come play quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
That's you just saw that happen with just an old quarterback got exposed by new defense, everything like that.
It was hard to not jump on that Cleveland Browns train though, especially with the way that Joe Flacco was playing leading up to that point. And you're like, oh, Joe Flacco against a rookie quarterback and CJ Stroud, 110% you're taking Flacco and the Browns. But
that Texans team was the lowest average age of any team ever to win a playoff game.
So they have that. They also have $74 million of cap space next year.
Yeah.
And all of their players are coming back.
Especially with how good CJ Stroud has been. If he maintains like this, because obviously he's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they continue that ascent. They're going to be really fucking good in like 2 or 3 years.
Think about what they're doing. Like, I know Sam and I don't know, Jared, you might not follow football as much, but like they're doing this with Devin Singletary as a running back. You had Nico Collins as your wide receiver 1. Tank Dell was going off before he got hurt. Like you have Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz. Like these are guys who are not like household names, and CJ Stroud is making them look like fucking all pros.
Oh yeah,
but what's that remind you of?
Tom Brady.
2010s Patriots. Yeah.
yeah.
Edelman, Welker, fucking Amendola, even guys like Danny Woodhead that like they would just pull. You have the right
Chris Hogan.
Like if you have the right system,
a little later, but
you got the right system. You don't need these crazy talented players. You need a lot of really good role players.
Yeah,
and that's the difference I think with football compared to a lot of sports where you don't need to have like. I mean, they're a perfect example. You don't need to have a massive payroll. You just got to have the right personnel and the right equation, and it can all come together. And you can have
head coach recipe for winning.
Yeah.
Look it.
Well, that's a good recipe for longevity.
10 years.
Right.
Is that true?
I said they're set for the next 10 years.
Oh,
yeah.
How young their team is.
You're going to have guys coming in from free agency who are going to want to play there. You're putting yourself in a really good spot.
I think Stroud, he's their franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they
very obvious.
Yeah.
But another team, not discrediting the Texans in any way, but they also play in a relatively weak division. You got the Colts, you got the Titans, and you got the Jaguars.
But you can't hold that against them if they perform in the playoffs.
Not at all.
You know what? The Patriots took advantage of a bad division for years until all the teams around us got good.
Well, at Mac Jones' first year, and they made the playoffs.
Yeah. But
I'm not even talking about Mac
Jones. But like, some of the AFC seasons through Brady were bad.
Who's that guy you were just talking about?
Who? Fraud Jones?
Who's Mac
Jones?
Max Jones?
Never heard of him.
Oh, Matt Patricia.
Moving on. Miami versus Kansas City. I mean, I think on paper, right? On paper, this looked like a really good matchup, but there was a negative 5 bajillion% chance that the Miami Dolphins were going to go into a negative 5-degree Kansas City and have any shot of winning that game against the Kansas City.
Chris, we talked about it. The win percentage all time for that franchise in games under 40 degrees is like horrible.
Well, and did you read? They didn't practice at Arrowhead at all. They stayed in Miami up until the night before the game.
Yeah, because that's a recipe to win.
Yeah. We're going to practice in 70-degree heat and then go play in negative. Like, no.
Well, so I heard, I think it was AJ Hawk was talking about it, who's on the Pat McAfee show.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying that a lot of like former players and current players were like pumped that the Dolphins are going to have to play in that those conditions. Because I guess when they redesigned like Hard Rock, they made it so that the home side is always in the
hotter.
shade, and the away side is
cool.
always in the sun.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Good, fuck them. They fucking deserve it."
Well, and the Dolphins' offense too is not built for cold weather games like that either.
Nothing about the Dolphins is built for a cold weather game. Unless you get a home game, you're fucked.
Yeah. So it's just, and so they're never going to win.
Well, in Kansas City is they were playing in cold ass games in November there, so like it's not. Granted, I think that was the third or fourth coldest playoff game ever, but like still, it gets to a point where the temperature is negligible. You just you're there, you're ready to rock. Like,
did you guys see Patty Mahomes' helmet breaking?
Yeah, I did see that.
That was pretty wild.
People were like, wow, he took a massive hit. It's like, no, because his helmet was fucking frozen solid. It was an ice cube, jackass.
My favorite moment was Andy Reid's mustache.
I was going to say,
oh my god, that was so.
I said that to Chris.
It's all frozen.
Well, Sam was telling me because I think we were in Discord or something during the game, and he was like, "Yo, did you see Andy Reid's mustache?" I'm like, "No, like I'm just over here." This dude sends it to me. That shit is just frozen solid.
Just icicles.
So good.
Andy Reid was also dripped out going into the locker room wearing his all black Air Forces. I'm just saying,
love it.
Probably have like a cheeseburger in hand with it.
Oh yeah.
He probably did scarf that shit down before he got in there.
But
nobody in that game
actually
really
what
set
kept
the
him
world on
warm on
fire.
the sidelines.
He had one in his back pocket just to be safe.
They have
off of that game, we can kind of go off of the whole fucking Peacock thing.
Yeah, we can jump into that real quick and then finish these other games that have already.
I didn't watch because of it. I think it's
didn't either.
Stupid.
There's no way to watch it.
Yeah.
You're gonna start making fucking NFL games pay-per-view. You can suck my balls.
Think about it this way: we all watch baseball. We all obviously have MLB TV. The amount of shit we complain about MLB TV and their blackouts and everything like that.
Yeah,
this is the NFL's version of blackouts.
But this is beyond a blackout.
Pay-per-view.
This is they're basically blacking out a nationally televised game.
I don't.
MLB blacks out the ones that aren't nationally televised. They black out regional games, which is fine. It's just deals. That's how they have to operate. But.
And that's kind of where like I'm struggling with the whole thing. Like you took a playoff game on a Saturday night.
I don't know why you wouldn't do one of the earlier ones on Peacock.
But even that, no playoff game should be exclusively on a streaming service. You need to offer it on everything because you probably lost a shitload of viewership. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Oh, I can't even. Want me to see what I can look up what the viewership was
see
for
if you can find it.
See if it came out. It might take a little bit to come out.
They probably blacklisted it. You can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, because they don't want anybody to see that 14 people were tuning into the game. Like, damn, nobody's watching this shit. How come? Jeez, because nobody wants to pay a fuckload of money for Peacock.
Fake. So it was the most streamed football game ever.
Yeah, because no one watches.
They've been doing this for fucking 2 minutes.
That's what they call that a black herring or what? Yeah, is it black herring?
Put an asterisk argument. To it. Fucking
something herring argument where it's like you're explaining half of the reason and then not the actual reason why the numbers are that.
Yeah,
like you could be like it's like saying like the classic one is like the amount of shark attacks are directly related to the amount of ice cream sold. But it's because both of them happen during the summer.
Yeah,
like it's what I mean. Like it's they're not related. But you make it seem like they are.
You never know. What if sharks are going around ice cream stands?
So let's see. So it says 23 million viewers. Let me look up the average like playoff football game viewership.
It's a lot more than 23 million viewers.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
I'm curious to see what this number is.
This makes me very skeptical of these numbers because guess what it says the average is? 23 million.
Yeah. Bullshit.
The exact same number.
Yeah, no.
And guess who? And it was also Peacock that reported those numbers.
Yeah. Okay. Suck my ass, dude.
They probably counted how many people were using the app to stream anything at that particular time.
Well, and also the thing is like you can also do a Peacock free trial to watch it. So, but still, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
That's what I considered doing to watch the game. I was like, sign up for a 7-day trial.
I don't know. They were doing it a lot for. I know they were doing it for regular season games, but just playoff time. I don't know. You can't.
You're ostracizing. It's like taking advantage of it. It seems like a money grab.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you're like,
It seems
and
cheap.
especially it shows that a lot of people still like went through with it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if a normal game is 23 million people, right? And this one was just streamed on an exclusive service and it got 23 million. Think about how many new memberships were opened from that. So it just seems like a money grab, which is whack. Like you're making football games pay-per-view now.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree. Yeah, just a kind of load of baloney. I'm curious to see what that's going to look like for the next round when we get into the divisional rounds.
I think this was the only playoff game. I could be wrong, though.
You think? I don't know.
I'll check on ESPN, but I believe this was
feel
the
like it
only
would
one.
be
The divisional
stupid
rounds,
if they
you're
did
down
it
to-
for anymore.
What are there? Two, divisional champion. Yeah, there's only four divisional games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're going to take 25% of those games away and put it just on Peacock?
Yeah, so you have one. The Texans game is on ESPN. Packers-Niners is Fox.
Yeah,
Lions
there's none.
game is NBC. And then the other one is CBS.
Yeah, so none. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Watch the
Good.
conference champion. One of them beat. Okay,
Are
CBS
they
and Fox.
Saturday and Sunday next week? Yeah, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday.
They actually put
Yeah.
the Super Bowl on Peacock on
I
the
like
cock.
that.
Imagine.
Could you imagine, dude?
The-
Oh my god, I would
No.
fucking
Guess how?
lose my...
So, I'm pretty sure the Lions are going to be home next round, right?
Yeah.
It depends.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't know. They're already selling tickets. It says the venue is Ford Field.
yeah. Because they're
Oh.
going to be the higher seed no matter what. But it
So
depends
that's the
on
first playoff game there in like 34 years. Guess how much the cheapest ticket is?
$200.
$660.
Holy shit.
I was gonna say 800.
And then the cheapest one for the Niners is $280. So that shows you.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
All
right. What we got?
That was
What we
actually
got?
an
What we got?
exciting game to watch last night. I will say that.
It was a good game. Me and Sam were in Discord for that. And we're
Bro, Puka Nakua is
him.
he's an
Rainbow
animal.
Slice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really fucking good.
So yeah, we can talk about that Lions Rams game real quick. First playoff one in 32 years is that's fucking bizarre.
I think that like if as a fan who doesn't have like a dog in the fight, I think that's all you could ask for in a playoff game is that game.
Well, I saw a
Exciting.
video on Twitter of some season ticket holder who's been a season ticket holder for fucking like 60 something years. He's like 80 something years old.
Yeah.
And he was there and he like didn't even know what to do with his body. He's like,
Is that the guy who had the pom poms?
yeah, I think.
Yeah, I saw that guy.
Yeah.
Smells like, dang, that guy's old as hell.
I'm like, well, good for that guy, dude. He
Getting
stuck-
to LA too. What a dog.
Yeah, no, stuck through that shit. Now you get another home game.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was another
So-
kid too that was probably around our age that was literally crying at the end of the game. Like they panned to him in the stands and he was bawling his eyes out.
I mean, well,
Think
Think about like,
dude,
if we
he's
were this
never-
age when like
Yeah.
the Red Sox won in 04.
Yeah.
Like,
you're
Yeah,
it's not even
20
winning,
crying.
just winning a game.
Yeah. That's what
But,
I
like-
texted one of my friends who's from Detroit and I was like, listen, we were lucky we got 6 Super Bowls in our lifetime. I'm very happy that you guys got a playoff
Yeah.
win, and I will be
I mean,
rooting for the Lions in the playoffs.
Honestly, Jared Goff looked like a machine last night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He looked
he-
really good. He started like 12 for 12 or something.
Finished 22 for 27 for 277 and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's rock
It's
solid.
a good line.
Yeah.
I
I think they could, if they get hot, they could be another team. Like, I think I mean, obviously the team to beat in the NFC is the Niners, but like,
I just want some weird shit to like you said we talked about in MLB playoffs. You just kind of root for chaos.
yeah, 100%.
Give me like a Lions Texans Super Bowl
Hell yeah.
or a
Hell yeah.
Packers Texans. Some weird shit.
something we never thought we'd ever see.
Buccaneers.
I really think
Fucking sure.
that the Packers or the Lions could beat the Niners. I don't think it's impossible. I think that
No.
if they play a complete game, they could absolutely beat them.
I had Lions in the Super Bowl this year. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not that insane, honestly.
Should have put $10 on it if that actually happens. You'd probably be a fucking
For real.
I don't
rich
know,
boy.
before that game.
So going into the two games that haven't, well, one of them's happening now, and then
It's currently-
one later
I was
tonight.
gonna say, what's the
24
score?
to
there?
10.
Yep, sorry, I yawned. That was induced. Doesn't count.
That's your fault. 24 to 10 at the moment. Steelers
End of
ball
the third quarter. Last play of the third quarter right now.
in Buffalo territory. They're driving down.
I just got a first down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching some of it earlier, and I thought the conditions were going to be a lot worse than what they are, but the field's fine.
The
It's
field
just
looks
cold.
mint.
You see the
Just
videos of
cold.
like the fans that just showed up to shovel it out?
Why is
The-
Athol calling me?
Team of Buffalo was putting out like, "Hey, we need fans to come shovel this overnight." Like they were busting people in to try and get this field cleared off.
Literally, the governor ordered like a travel ban for that part of the state, except for people going to the stadium to help clear up the snow.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
Like,
actually.
I heard that today on the radio. I was like, that seems a little contradictory.
I
but
got a
No
snow
school?
day tomorrow.
I was just gonna say, is this a snow day alert for Chris? We're
Yeah.
supposed to get 3 to 5 inches.
3 to 5 inches of snow and then ice.
Yeah.
I thought we were supposed to get like 2 to 4.
Nah.
It's like 3 to 5, and it's all day. It's gonna start at like
Yeah.
midnight and
Good
go all
expected
it's
weather.
gonna
All
turn
schools
into
in
ice.
Athol Royalston will be closed tomorrow, Tuesday.
Chris docks himself. That's
Don't
where he works.
care.
I'll
Oh,
show up to
nice.
work tomorrow, and then they'll be like, "You guys can go home at noon." It's like, then why did you send us here in the
It's all right.
first
I'm working
place?
from home tomorrow, Jared, so suck it.
I work from home every day.
Shut up, Sam.
All right,
What do
no,
we
sorry.
every day?
But
What do we?
All
I'm
right.
looking for one of those remote
All right,
jobs.
back on the agenda.
Cam, we'll talk about that afterwards, but
Yeah, I
we can
know.
get back on track.
So yeah, we don't have to talk as much about the Pittsburgh Buffalo one still going on, but tonight I kind of want to talk about this one a little bit because I do think that the Buccaneers are beating the Eagles tonight.
I mean, I
Eagles-
just think this is an empty playoff game because both of these teams will lose next round.
I don't
Eagles are just absolutely in shambles.
know.
I
Baker
just
Mayfield's
want to
going to
know.
have a
I
career
want to
game
know
tonight.
what happened to the like. What happened?
Their locker room is a mess. It's been all AJ Brown, dude. That's what everybody's saying. He's been an absolute, for a lack of a better word, cancer in the locker room. He's been absolutely awful, and now he's hurt, so he's probably being even more detrimental, being a negative Nancy that he's not out there playing.
Who's
Nancy? Not that I know like his
Who?
stats, but like has Jalen Hurts' stats like gone down the past?
He's
like,
been shit.
the last
Yeah,
half.
he's not been
check
good.
his stats for the last 6
That's-
games, and I
what
guarantee
I'm
you
gonna
they've
do.
been
Did he miss some
absolute.
time due to injury or no?
No,
No.
I thought he did earlier in the year.
You know what this made me start thinking about though is if you think of like the most recent Alabama quarterbacks, they all kind of suck. Except for
Alabama
Jalen
historically
Tua?
doesn't have a good quarterback.
Hurts.
Eh,
Tua,
you could switch Tua and Mac Jones, and Mac Jones, they'd be saying he's as good.
I don't think so.
I mean, Mac Jones is like the bottom of the barrel. Tua is he's got some mush going on up there.
Yeah,
I
Um,
really don't think Tua is a bad quarterback. I don't.
I think
You
he's
think-
much better than Mac, if you ask me.
100%.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mac is at the bottom.
Yeah.
Mac shouldn't even be on the list anymore. Just get him out of the
No,
league.
actually, the one that should
No,
be on the list
quite-
is AJ McCarron.
Quite honestly, if you did a ranking for every quarterback that started a game this year, you could probably. I want to know how many quarterbacks started a game in the NFL this year. It's probably like 50 something. But if you're ranking those guys based on how they performed this year, you're probably putting Mac in that 50 range.
Give me Bailey Zappi above him, 100%.
I would put Bailey, yeah, above
100%.
Wasn't he? He played D2 college football, right? He didn't even play
Zappy?
D1.
No,
I
he
don't
played
think.
D1, Western Kentucky.
Oh, it was low one. That's right.
Had the he holds, I think, the NCAA all-time passing record.
Yeah, I
for
think so. Yeah, I
touchdowns.
think you're right. Yep.
So absolute stallion.
Yep.
Jared, are you looking that up?
Well, I'm currently looking 2 things up right now. So
Just looking at it.
the court. Oh my god, this just scrolled up to the top. You gotta be kidding me. So
Figured
the
it.
primary starting quarterbacks, the 32 ranking belongs to.
If it's not Mac Jones,
Mac
I don't know who
Wilson.
the hell it'd be.
It's probably
Zach
Justin Fields. No, not Justin
Bailey
Fields.
Zappi is 30. Okay, so
This
wait.
was.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Chris is talking
So I
about
wonder-
total starting quarterbacks, not just for each team.
No, I know. I just this was the first thing that popped up, but Mac isn't even on this list.
Yeah, because Zappi's listed as the starter.
I'm trying to find a list of.
No, Jalen.
All right,
Hurts is-
well, keep this train moving.
Well, in week 15, just week 15, so not even counting the last 3 weeks of the season, there had been 56 different quarterbacks to start a game.
Yikes.
Crazy. But yes, moving on. We'll keep it in the NFL realm, but switching things up to more of a management side, I guess you could say. So talk a little bit about where we think Bill Belichick is going to end up in this coaching carousel.
Go Chargers, go.
Nah. So,
No,
I
I
mean,
got my vote.
all right. Jared, who you got?
Cowboys.
Ew.
Cam, who you think?
I was also going to say Cowboys. Just based
I
off
think-
how
Go ahead.
he was blowing Jerry Jones when they went down there to Dallas to play them about how
I know
great
who
of
Chris
an
is going
owner
to say,
he
so don't
is.
say it, I guess.
All right.
You know who
So
I'm gonna say?
I can just see that. I can see him going to Dallas.
No, I know exactly what Chris is going to say.
Who?
Atlanta.
Yeah. Because he's looking at the thing. Did I put it
No.
on there?
No?
No, I just
No.
know.
You
Had
had
a
to have known
premonition.
somehow. I don't know where I put it.
I had a
You've
premonition.
definitely seen it somewhere.
Nope, premonition.
It's a conversation you guys had 10 minutes
Yeah,
before we
I'll
started
figure
this.
it out. I'll figure it out later. I might have said it right at the start. I don't even remember. Anyway, yeah,
Chris just
I
gets
don't
on yells, Atlanta!
know.
Falcons,
Falcons. I mean, I think Bill still wants to go somewhere where he's going to be able to win and get back into the playoffs.
Why would he go to Atlanta?
So listen,
He goes,
Arthur-
I'm listening.
listen,
The floor is yours, Mr. K.
Arthur Smith, terrible head coach. No idea what the dude's doing on the offensive side of the ball. Absolutely abysmal. So they just drafted Bijan Robinson. So you got your running back of the future. You drafted Drake London last year in the first round out of USC, and you drafted Kyle Pitts in the first round out of Florida the year before. You have your three skill players right there. If he can bring in a veteran quarterback that he knows, that he trusts to run an offense, I said the NFC East was bad. They play in the worst division in all of football. You have the Panthers, the Falcons, the Saints, and I'm missing one. Panthers, Falcons, Saints, one other one I forget. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely awful.
Joe Flacco to the Falcons.
Book it.
No.
If Joe Flacco goes to the Falcons, mark my words, the Falcons are winning that division. Hands down, it's not even
I thought he was going to say Super Bowl. I was about to jump through the screen.
No, just the division. Simmer down.
Take it to the house. Bet the barn.
But I don't know. You guys think, just kind of switching it up, you think the Cowboys fire Mike McCarthy?
Yes, I actually shocked he
Why
made
the
it through.
fuck wouldn't they?
I don't know,
he should be
though, dude.
gone.
He wasn't the problem. Dan Quinn.
Yeah, but I think when you're not winning, and I think this goes for all sports, when you're not winning, a culture is created whether you want to or not. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, the culture is synonymous with whoever's at the helm.
I agree.
So I think whether he is actually the reason or not, I think you have to get rid of him to turn the page. And that's
fair.
true in all sports. And I think that's really the reason why you got to get rid of him. Just like I think the Pats really, unfortunately, had to move on from Belichick. You got to turn the page. You got to
Right.
start from the top, and you got to redefine the culture if it's not working anymore. And that always starts with the head coach.
Yeah. So, I mean, that can kind of jump us into the next one real quick. Belichick versus Kraft. We're talking about who we think had a bigger impact on the Pats' downfall as a whole. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. To a
I gotta
certain
take
point,
this.
you can blame Kraft, but ultimately, Bill's the one making all the decisions on the field, I should say.
I think there's a lot. I don't know if you guys have seen all the hit pieces coming out about Bill and
Oh, that
the turmoil between
Wickersham
Bill
article?
and yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is I don't think it's Bill versus Kraft who ruined the Pats. I think it's Bill and Kraft ruined the Pats. I think it's the dynamic that fell apart between them. That rift is ultimately what was the downfall. I don't think it was one or the other. It's the combination of both of them.
I genuinely believe it started when Kraft stepped in on Garoppolo. I think but I also believe that Bill wanted to move on from Brady when they traded Garoppolo. I don't think it was supposed to be.
Bill didn't want to draft Mac Jones either.
Mm-mm.
That came out like last week that he did not want to. They had a whole game plan of who they were going to take in that draft, and there was a quarterback that fell into the second round that they were going to take, and it would have worked out. And Kraft basically said no. He's like, we're taking Jones, and I think that kind of caused a little bit.
This is kind of where like I think about the stuff in my head, right? Like if you have a guy, because where'd we get Mac in the first round, but it was late, right?
It's like
10th
15, 16?
or
Yeah.
15, 16,
No,
yeah, sounds right.
Yeah.
So
think it was 15.
mid first round, whatever it is, right? So you take him mid first round. So he's obviously not good enough to be one of those top, whatever, 1, 2,
10
3
guys.
quarterbacks taken
Yeah.
off the board, because almost always quarterbacks go before him. I'm not sure who went before him in that draft, but he wasn't good enough to crack that top 3, right? So in my mind, at that point, you're just looking for like a Brady situation. You're looking for a guy who might have some kind of potential down the line, but he wasn't. In my mind, he was never meant to be like that franchise guy, because we didn't have that top whatever.
Yeah,
10
it always
pick.
seemed like a bridge play more than
Yeah.
anything.
Like, if you're going to take a quarterback, you take a guy late and hope he develops like Brady did. But until you get, it's going to come at some point. Unless you get one of those top, whatever, 3, 4 quarterbacks in the draft, I don't know.
So I just went back and looked at Mac Jones' draft. It went
It was
Trevor
15.
Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and then going at number 11 was Justin Fields, and then Mac Jones.
But it really makes you think, right? Because like, what if Zach ended up in New England? What would that look like? What if fucking who was the other
Fields.
guy you said? No, another guy.
Trevor
Lawrence, but Lawrence
No,
was always
Trey
going
Lance.
1-1.
Trey Lance.
Yeah, Trey
what
Lance.
If he ended up in New England? Trey Lance hasn't even really gotten a shot to play in the NFL yet. He started like 2 games and broke his leg, and now he's
So-
sitting behind fucking shitter Dak Prescott in Dallas.
So there were 5 quarterbacks taken in the 2021 draft when Mac went. There's only one of them who's in the play. Well, did make the playoffs this year, and that was Trey Lance as a bench guy. Didn't even play. The other 4
Yikes.
didn't make the playoffs.
Yikes.
And so what I heard with that draft was that Bill had just gotten out of the room with Kraft talking about, we need to be more collaborative. If the rest of the group thinks we should take one guy, then you have to take one guy. And Bill, that's what happened with Jones, is the whole, like, all the people around Bill was like, no, we got to take Mac. We should take Mac. Mac's a good pick. And Bill's like, well, I'm not going to just finish getting done saying, hey, I'll be more collaborative. That's great. And then the first pick of the draft, like, well, no, I'm not. We're going to go with this guy because I said so.
yeah.
Which is just not a good way to run a team.
I'm just really curious what they're going to do come April when it's time for the draft, because you have the 3rd pick. Are you going to go Jaden Daniels? Are you going to hope Marvin Harrison drops to 3? Like,
I'm riding high on Drake May. I think I'd like them to
I don't
take
think
Drake
he's
May.
going to fall to 3.
He won't
I don't think
be.
he's going to get there.
I think he's going to get there if
It depends.
if the Bears trade that pick and they can take.
Well, it's not the Bears' pick anymore. Oh, yes, it is. It is.
Right.
Carolina's technically, but they
Exactly.
owe it to the
Traded
Bears.
it to the
Okay,
But
yeah.
if they trade that pick away, because then you have
Caleb Williams
Caleb
doesn't
Williams,
want to go
and
to
you have-
Chicago.
and Jaden
Drake
Daniels
May.
would go 2, and then
They have Drake
then-
May going ahead of Jaden Daniels.
I looked at one yesterday and they had him.
That's
I mean,
this
they probably
was
could
also
go
a week
flip
ago.
flop
It could,
2,
yeah.
3.
It's all going to depend on what Washington wants to do with their pick. I think at this point we've probably confirmed Chicago's trading that pick, more than likely, because Caleb Williams does not want to go there. If
Yeah,
they
they're
know,
probably going to get a fucking haul for it
Yeah.
too.
Or like
Yeah.
like Chris said, it could be a Eli Manning situation where they draft
They-
him
Right.
and
Trade
immediately
his
trade him.
rates. Yeah.
yeah. But either way, so Caleb Williams is going 1-1 overall. It's what the Commanders want to do with that 2nd pick. That's
Right.
really the one that we want to know.
Which
They
I don't know.
They could throw a complete wrench and be like, "Nah, we like Sam Howell. Give us Marvin Harrison Jr."
I mean, it could happen. It could happen. I don't think it does, but I
Are
also
we
don't want the.
You think the Pats are dead set on a quarterback?
Yes.
I think you
They
have
have
to.
to be.
See-
They can't. They
See,
I
and
feel like
here's
there's no other
where I'm
route for
like-
them to go.
I don't know. If they gets the 3 right, and you have Marvin Harrison and Jaden Daniels both on the board, I'm taking Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right,
I
let
think
me-
the other option too is I think I was saying this to you, Chris. I wouldn't mind seeing them trade like Mac Jones to get another pick in the first round.
No,
Because
they're not
then
gonna.
you can take Marvin Harrison on that 3rd pick, and then a guy like Michael Penix could fall to the bottom of the first round or even the beginning of the 2nd round. And I don't hate that if you get Marvin Harrison and you kind of, I mean, I guess it's another bridge quarterback, but
I
wouldn't
don't
mind
think
them
you
then
get.
because there's another solid quarterback class next year too. So
I don't think you get that high of a pick for Mac Jones. So that's the only thing.
No, you'd need
I
to
was
give
just
up
gonna
more
say,
than
what do
just
you-
Mac.
Yeah, you'd have to
no,
give
but
up
I think he would
Jones
still be
and
the
a pick.
centerpiece
Yeah.
for like a
The
middle
only
of the
thing
road
I will
team.
say I don't want the Patriots to take a quarterback. If they have their heart set
Yes.
like on Drake May, like we want to get Drake
If
May,
he's not
but
there, don't
yes,
force a
don't
pick.
take
That's
the truth.
even-
Take
Even
Harrison.
where we're at right now, if we do draft whoever we get, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison, whoever we get, we're probably not making the playoffs next year. And that's what
we're gonna
people
suck
need to
next year.
That's what people
Right.
need to get in their head. You can't draft this quarterback and hope that he's just going to come in and miraculously save the day.
Right.
Like, did it work with CJ Stroud? Sure, but look at Bryce Young, look at Sam Howell, look at all these guys who got thrown into the fire and are fucking awful. Like, you don't
I think
wanna
you just
do
want to
that.
like, to be honest, like when they drafted Mac Jones and he had that solid first season, and even his second season in 22, like they were still a solid team. They weren't bad.
Right.
And
So
it was like, I'm fine with if you take a quarterback like that and you're seeing him develop game after game and he's getting better over time. That's all I really care about as a fan. Like at the end of the day, yeah, you don't expect to make it to the playoffs or even really have a winning record most of the time when you have a rookie quarterback.
Right.
But if you see that guy developing and getting better over time, you take having a quarterback like that developing in your system rather than taking a flyer on some veteran and trying to make a playoff push. If you want longevity, you got to bite those years and just
And that's
So
where
sit on these guys.
We're talking about sucking now, so I want to do this real quick. The teams they play next year, home against Buffalo. Do you see them beating Buffalo at all next year?
Yeah.
So we'll say 2 losses. The Los Angeles Rams at home.
no,
Yeah.
Houston Texans with CJ
No.
Stroud.
probably not.
Indianapolis Colts with Anthony
Possibly.
Richardson. They
Yeah,
could beat them, but Anthony Richardson could come back and reignite them. The Dolphins, no.
No.
The Jets with Aaron Rodgers, probably not.
Yeah.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
The
Probably
Chargers.
Depends who they have.
Yeah, the Los Angeles
Chargers,
Chargers.
no. Which if Herbert and all those guys are back, no.
And then away Cardinals, yes. Bills, we already said no. The Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't see them beating Jacksonville.
No, not if they have everybody.
Miami and New York, I don't see them winning those games. The 49ers, no.
We might lose that game by 70.
The Titans, that's
We
a
could
maybe.
win that one.
So what you're telling me is we might have another top 3 pick next year.
Yes, we could easily win only 3 games next
That's
year.
what I'm saying, and that's
Like,
why I don't hate the idea.
Yeah.
In that case of if Marvin Harrison is still on the board and you're not convinced by any of the other guys there, take him, sign a veteran for a year, and then you get that pick, higher pick next year. Get
Yeah.
your quarterback then. If
Yeah.
it's not the guy that you want, he's not there when it hits you. Don't jump the gun. Don't just fucking take one to take one, like Cam said.
I
Yep,
think
I agree.
Part of the issue too is that us in New England, we were so used to winning for so long. We in our lifetime, we've never experienced like the Patriots having to rebuild. Whereas you look at other teams like say the Lions or like the Bengals or a few years ago, they sucked for years, slowly built up pieces over time. Bengals made it to the Super Bowl, what?
That's
2-3
the whole
years ago?
whole logic of
Yeah.
having a draft where you get a higher draft pick for the worse you are. That's why it's supposed to balance like that. Like,
Yeah,
but you have a lot of teams that don't draft right, or they get rid of those pieces when they shouldn't have, and don't get the value back, and that's what fucks it over.
I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing is, and this ties into like the Patriots having to move on from Bill, is like we needed a new like direction. Like the 24 years, like great, do your job. Like that mentality lasted, which was wonderful. Got us 6 Super Bowls, but it just wasn't working anymore.
Yeah, like I said, I
After
think you got
3
to
years, it just-
reestablish that. You got to get a new culture.
And
That's
also,
the helm.
That's
so
what people need to see is like what the new direction for the Patriots is. And
Mhm.
I know it's one of the other topics we're going to talk about, but we have a head coach, but we don't have a GM yet. So
that's where I wanted to go, and they're not hiring one either. I was reading last week. They may not hire anyone new until after the draft. The fuck's the
that's
whole
stupid.
point of hiring a GM if you're not going to hire until after the draft?
So who's gonna pick?
They're
Who's gonna
going
make the
with
picks?
Matt
Jonathan
Groh
Graff?
and the other guy that's there. But those two were the reason we have Mac Jones. So do we really want those two running the show?
The other guy is probably
Give it all to
Jonathan
Gerard.
Kraft.
Let him run the show like Bill. Fuck it.
At this
God.
point, I wouldn't hate the idea.
I would
Rather
also
than
like
those
to
two
just point
idiots.
out that I'm watching the football game in Sam's window.
I've been checking in.
You see that late hit? I think it's a late hit on.
But yeah, I
Allen.
agree with Cam. I'm like, why wait to hire a
Cam-
GM? Like, if you have this plan to pause
Yeah,
until
that really
April.
makes sense.
The other guy's name is Elliot Wolf.
Yeah,
whoever that
there
Or
we
if
go.
you're not going to hire one, at least promote a guy internally.
That's the
Well,
thing. All
and
the
it's
guys
like-
internally are the guys who were fighting Bill to draft Mac in 21. I don't want anyone internally. I want them to gut the whole front office. But
We were just so quick to hire Gerard as the head coach.
Yeah.
Like, why are we waiting on a GM
I saw
decision?
some
Yeah.
articles that said that is the biggest mistake the Patriots.
Did you
could
see
have
that
made,
they
was
also
hiring
just came out
Gerard so
today?
quickly.
It came out today that the Patriots have also already offered both of Belichick's sons positions to stay,
I saw that too.
which I doubt they will. They'll probably go with Bill, I bet,
Oh, I'm
wherever
sure
he
they will.
goes.
And Mayo's already looking outside the organization for coaches. He's looking at the Panthers linebackers coach for bringing as
Oh
defensive
yeah, great.
coordinator.
Let's bring in the 2-16 Panthers linebacker coach.
Hey, they were
That's a
fifth-
great plan. Attaboy,
They were-
Gerard.
They had the fifth best defense last year.
I mean, honestly, if Vrabel isn't all in on being a head coach and like wants another spot in New England, maybe bring him on in some capacity.
I think Vrabel wants to be a head coach. I don't think he's. I think
You think
Well, and
somebody will
with
hire him?
so
though?
many, yeah, I think with so many openings,
I guess
I
so.
think
Yeah, in this
they'll-
situation, there's a lot of openings.
he'll find one, even if it's
Well-
just a kind of a 1-year gig. There's just so many
Yeah.
openings.
Yeah,
for
I think
him
in
to-
another situation, maybe when you don't have as
Right.
many openings, he might. But yeah, you're right. There's a
It's
lot
like-
of openings.
Brandon
also
Staley
only-
from the Chargers
yeah,
isn't getting one.
Chargers.
Ron Rivera is not getting another one. Like, there's guys who aren't getting one, which
The
makes
guy, I
it all
doubt the
the
guy
more
from the
likely that
Falcons will
Vrabel
get another
will.
one.
no, he won't.
These
Guy from
they
the
might get
Falcons.
like coordinator positions or
Yeah.
things
Not a
like
head
that,
coach,
but they
no.
won't get
Yeah.
head coaching spots.
Josh McDaniels could get one. Oh,
Josh
stop.
McDaniels deserves to be exiled.
Josh
from the
McDaniels
National
might be
Football
back
League.
next year.
Send him
Bill
to the
O'Brien
CFL.
decides to leave.
Yeah, no, he can go coach in the Hungarian Football League.
Speaking
I'm
of other
reading-
leagues, you see that USFL and the XFL merged.
Did they?
So now they have the UFL. It's like the United Football League is starting in the spring.
Yeah.
They've been
I mean,
how
I
long
get
have
for,
they been
like,
trying
people
to
that
get
are just,
spring
like-
football.
Well,
Mm,
people for like that are like football fanatics, like
Yeah.
sure they're all about it.
No, and
And
before you
gambling
know it, they're
addicts.
going to merge with the Arena Football League, and it's going to be great.
Is the Arena Football League still a thing?
I don't know.
I remember those video games when we were kids.
There was a team in Worcester.
Yeah. Shout out Matt
Yeah.
Capone. Wasn't he a season ticket holder?
He was. They moved. They're in Lowell
Oh my
now.
God.
They moved.
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
Wasn't it the Pirates?
Yeah,
The
it's
Worcester Pirates or something? Yeah.
They play ECU Center.
Yeah, moving on. We can do a recap of the college football championship because we finished our episode before the championship game finished. Michigan's just the best team in college football, and quite honestly,
Oh, yeah.
it's not even close.
I'd like to say that my take was 100% right. I said in the last episode, the thing that'll dictate that game is the lines on both sides. And the Michigan offensive line just dominated the Washington
Yeah.
defensive line. Dominated them.
Yep. I mean,
Wasn't really a
when,
game.
Michigan's backup running back, which you can't even really call him a backup. He's more like a 1A. I forget his name, but he had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter, I think.
Yep.
It was at least the first half,
Yep.
but he took his first 2 carries, both for touchdowns.
Yep.
I'm like, and then you have Blake Corum on top of that. And I'm like,
Yeah,
JJ
Blake Corum
McCarthy
went
could
nuts.
Blake McCarthy. JJ McCarthy could sit back with a cigar in his hand and call it a fucking night and just hand the ball off and you're good.
Yeah, it was wasn't really a game, to be honest.
No,
It felt
I
like
mean-
it felt like a clinic from the get go. It just wasn't really.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw too. I'm sure you did. That Washington's coach took the Bama job.
Yeah,
Here's
I
one.
did see that.
Kalen Bohr or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Harbaugh's been talking to the Chargers too.
yeah,
God.
I saw that. I mean, to a certain point, I get it. Like it's a dream to have like that Alabama job, but you're not Nick Saban. You're not going to get all the 5-star recruits that
Well,
you
and
had
also,
before.
I can see like a team that's a little further back from that, like
Well,
the
and that's
elite
the
to
thing.
move
Like,
towards
yeah,
it.
you went
You're
from
already
the number
at a-
2 team in the country to the number 4 team in the
Yeah,
country.
you're
You took a step
downgrading. If anything,
back.
your
Yeah.
program is way better than Alabama right now.
Well, now we'll see if all the 5-star recruits was they going there for Bama or were they going there because it was Saban. You'll learn.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll be able to tell pretty quick, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
sure it'll
what?
be a mix.
Tell you what, as the podcast Auburn fan, I'm fucking amped.
Yeah.
He had a great
I know.
career. I'm sure he's a nice man. Get the fuck away from college football, though. I don't want to see you anymore. Thank
I
you
remember
very
texting
much.
you as soon as he announced he was resigning. I was like, "This must be a fucking holiday for you, right now."
Oh, I celebrated. I got on Skype with my aunt, and we celebrated.
Yeah, say I know your aunt was like your aunt who was like absolutely like locked in on an Auburn game like an hour before your wedding.
Yeah, yeah.
Telling us all to shut up in the living room. 'Cause they were all
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
I got to assume Saban's going to go into like some kind of like analyst role or something like that.
Oh,
to
yeah.
some kind of
either
some
that,
kind
I
of-
wouldn't be surprised if he goes like front office to like an NFL team.
Mm.
I wouldn't be surprised in like some capacity, like an off-field capacity.
I want to see him on
Right.
game day. That's the only place I want to
He's
see him.
just not. You ever hear him talk? He's not
Yeah,
an
that's
entertaining
why I
guy
wanna
to
see
listen
him.
to talk. That's why I
wanna
don't think he'd be an analyst.
I want to
I
see
saw this.
Pat
Go ahead,
McAfee
Cam.
try and break Saban, get him out of his like
out of the shell.
thing, out of his shell a little bit. Yeah,
Go ahead, Jerry.
I saw a post and it was like, I want Nick Saban and Bill Belichick to have a weekly football podcast.
I'd be down for that.
Well, did you see the
Why?
clip
So
of
you
them
can
like
fall
talking?
asleep?
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Do you see
You
the
know how
clip?
much football knowledge would be talked about during
Did
that
you see the
podcast?
clip of them talking like in Saban's office in Alabama?
Yeah, that was from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Then they did like, I don't know if it was an ESPN. I don't know if it was a 30 for 30 or something, but it was like
I think it
their
was the
like relationship going back to.
I think it was the one that ESPN did where they took like the greatest minds of football and put them in a room together,
Yeah.
and it was like a sub part
yeah,
of that.
And Chris, what do you mean? You don't like listening to Bill go on for 20 minutes about fucking long snappers
No.
From Navy,
from Navy?
Can't say that I do. Oh, shit. I fucking love Bill.
yeah.
I
I
hope
mean,
he
he's
gets it.
royalty in New England forever, obviously. So
I
Yeah,
hope he
I
gets
will
the
admit,
record
I'm-
in 2 years so he can retire peacefully. I just hope he doesn't stick around and
I'd love for him to line up that he goes to another team, and I'd love for him to do it by beating the Patriots. I think that would just be like storybook shit.
Well, so Matt and Capone and I have been texting a lot about how the NFL is scripted. So I
Yeah.
text as soon as Bill left, I was like, Matt, the script for next year is already. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, Bill's going to go to Atlanta. He's going to win 15 games to pass Shula's record, and he's going to
15 games?
beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl and go off and
Were they resurrecting Joe Montana or
Yeah.
something, like bringing Joe Namath back?
no, they're bringing back Matty Ice. They're going to bring him out of
Oh
retirement.
God!
Yeah, well, in what world are the Patriots making the Super Bowl next
Yeah,
year?
that was the only thing that was far fetched about that
Yeah,
whole
that's
script.
the problem.
In a world where they draft Drake May and he becomes the next Tom Brady,
They draft Drake May, trade up to the 4th pick, take
Get
Marvin Harrison
They
Jr.
get back-to-back picks. Take
Yeah.
Drake May, Marvin Harrison.
Yeah. Somehow
Good to go.
fix the offensive line, and they'll be good.
Easy. It's easy. It's simple.
The sad part is if Bill was still here and that happened, we'd end up with like a new long snapper or like
So I
a
said-
kicker that
No,
has like
when
one
I
leg.
saw a meme where it was like, "Oh, Patriots get the number 3 pick. Here they go. We're going to draft a long snapper out of Navy."
I don't even think
Yeah.
that they trade
Here's a-
down for
here's an
37
offensive
second-round
lineman.
picks.
Well, remember when they drafted like
That's
Nick
great.
Solder or something, like with the 7th overall pick, like all those years ago? They like traded up and got like a higher draft pick and took a lineman, like an O lineman.
Well, this is
Makes
going
sense,
back
right?
to what we talked about. Who's the receiver from the he just played last night, the one Chris
Puka
who said
Nacua?
he went off. Yeah. So I
It's a
guess
5th
the
round
Pats,
pick, wasn't he?
Yeah,
the
BYU.
the Pats drafted somebody before him. Like when he was still on the
They
board.
drafted. I mean, think about the 5th round. Think of how many players they drafted.
Yeah.
before.
No, I know, but like in the same round, like who they took.
If,
Jared,
I
this-
saw a video from the War Room where Sean McVay was like talking to the rest of the coaching staff, like, "We have to take this guy." And they're like, "Why?" And he just like pulled up like a YouTube video or something. He was like, "I've been thinking about this kid for like a year." He's like, "We need to take him. He fits in perfectly." And they're like, "How is this kid still on the board?" He was like, "Exactly, take him."
Well, there's
And my God, was that
Well,
the
I mean,
pick of the
what's-
fucking century?
yeah.
What's wrong with the Patriots receivers that we've drafted over the last couple of years? I mean, you got Keyshawn Boutte, you got Tyquan Thornton, we had N'Keal Harry, a first-round pick in there for a minute.
N'Keal
Oh,
Harry
yeah,
was
he
decent.
solid.
No, he was not.
I feel like he was
Decent-
decent.
No.
Better than the
decent-
other guys you just mentioned.
Decent at what? Being shit?
I guess.
N'Keal Harry's career was ruined.
Maybe
the
it was
minute,
more of just an eye testing. I felt like he wasn't that bad.
No,
Let's see.
he was terrible.
N'Keal Harry in his career has 64 catches for 714 yards and 5 touchdowns. I'm curious how many of those have been with the Patriots. Cause,
How many were from Brady? Probably all of them.
let's see. Touchdowns. He had 2 in 2019 and 2 in 2020.
So 2 from Brady and 2 from 2 from Cam Newton.
Auburn's finest.
Ew.
So,
Do you guys ever forget that we had Newton as a quarterback?
I tried to.
Nah.
What?
Ever forget that we had Cam Newton as a
Jared said,
quarterback?
you guys ever forget we had Cam Newton as a quarterback? I said I tried to.
I try to
It's
forget.
like trying to forget that Bobby Valentine was the coach of the Red
Yeah,
Sox.
I mean,
that,
you
that
didn't
year
have to-
didn't
you didn't have to
happen.
bring
that
that
year
up.
just didn't happen.
I mean, hey, sorry.
You know, Jared, that's a good segue into baseball because
You
now I
know,
can yell at
bringing me
you.
on here, I was going to cause some riffraff. So
You look like riffraff.
2012 just wasn't
Alright.
a season in Red Sox history. They just weren't a baseball
Didn't
team that
exist.
year.
Never happened.
They were a chicken and beer pub. That's about it.
All right, yeah, I guess on to baseball now, right, Chris?
Yeah, we can move on to the talk a little bit about Ohtani and what his massive contract that's being dispersed over however many years is going to affect the rest
76
of
years.
Bobby
the
Bonilla
rest of the
2.0.
MLB.
Bobby Bonilla wishes he had the contract that Ohtani had. Holy
That's
shit.
true.
He's going to be
Oh
the
my
highest
God.
paid player in the Dodgers for the next, 40 years.
For the
Well, and that did.
But it's
so,
like-
go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
no, who also just signed with the Dodgers, kind of doing the same thing.
Not Yamamoto. That's what I was going to say.
Was it Teoscar?
Yeah. Yeah, he did a
Yeah,
1 year
except he
deal.
signed a 1 year, and,
And
it's
then
and it's
deferred it.
The $8 million of it is deferred for 10 years. He's getting
Yeah.
less than
Yeah.
$1 million a year.
Like I don't understand it.
The Dodgers.
I
Like,
just-
yeah,
yeah.
we'll sign you this contract. We're not going to pay you though for a year.
I don't think the
Sorry.
details of Yamamoto's has come out yet, as
Yeah.
far as the structure.
He's not deferred. It did come
Oh, it's
out.
not? Okay.
Yeah, it's he's the
They
lone
might
man
have a
in the
rule
clubhouse.
against that for international signings
Yeah.
also.
He's the lone
with
man
these
in the clubhouse,
Massive,
that's-
massive contracts that they're signing. I guess it makes sense.
I mean, I think here's the thing, right? If this is an NBA team, say you're signing LeBron James for that kind of money, right?
Mhm.
You're saying it's a failure for him if they don't win X amount of championships. Baseball is not the same because it doesn't take just one guy to get you there. So I think it's a failure for the organization if they put up all this money and they can't win. I think during his contract, if they don't win 3 championships, I'd say. If they don't win 3, it's got to be a minimum of 2. They have to win 2.
Yeah. So I don't see it as a failure on Ohtani because Ohtani could get hurt. Ohtani could, you know what I mean? Ohtani could have a great season. We saw
It's
it
one
with
player.
the
You got
Angels.
1 of 9.
Exactly.
You need 9 guys in baseball, plus a bullpen.
isn't he already hurt going into this?
Yeah,
the
he's
Yeah,
not
he
pitching
got
this
Tommy
season.
John, but
Yeah.
he's hitting this year. He's
Yeah.
gonna hit while he's
Gotcha.
rehabbing his arm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But-
Which will probably still hit 50 dongs and have 130
Yeah.
ribbies.
Oh
But,
yeah, it'll be disgusting.
Light work.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know. The whole contract deferral thing is just
See, but the thing is, when people are saying, how will the contract affect baseball? It won't. I just don't think it will at all because when's the next Shohei Ohtani coming along that someone's going to get that kind of money?
see, you say
There's
that
not.
not even that kind of money, but more so just the option for deferrals. Because you already saw, like we just said, Teoscar did it with
The
a
thing is-
1 year deal.
That's always been a thing. But I think
Not this
casual
prominent.
fans never thought to look into it because so many play. You know who's deferred that's still on the Red Sox payroll? Fucking Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, Manny and Pedroia.
Yeah.
So really,
Bobby
it's,
Bonilla.
it's been a thing for forever. I just think that having that, I think how drastically his is deferred is what's caught people's eye. Because I mean, he's what is it? He's getting not even 10%.
He's not getting jack shit. This
What is he? Like $10 million over the next 10 years, and it's $700 million. So that's that's 7% or whatever of his actual value.
Yeah,
that's fucking nuts. And that's all he's getting to play, and it's deferred after. I think it's just the drasticness of the deferral.
Yeah,
is why people are seeing it like that because it's been a thing forever. Like you said, Bobby Bonilla Day. The deferrals have always been a thing, always will be a thing. At the end of the day, I do think with contracts above a certain value, I think that the league, if it continues to be a thing, is going to have to make deferrals impact your salary cap like
Yeah.
the luxury
Oh,
tax.
the
to some
Teoscar
extent.
one is just so weird. Like
That
you're
was
signing
just
a
It
stupid
just
to me.
why?
Yeah.
yeah.
Why? That one,
I mean, it's
to
gotta be
defer
something
$8 million.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're. I wonder if they're like that deferral puts them under like a second
Under,
threshold
yeah.
of the, because they're obviously already in. They're already
Oh,
in the
yeah.
luxury tax, but
Yeah.
they probably come under a second tier if they defer that, which is kind of troubling because does that mean they're just done for the rest of the offseason? Or like, are they going to trade to make moves? Like, they're not going to, no more free agents. It's interesting.
What else do they need?
A pitcher. Probably one more.
They probably could actually, they could do with probably
When your
one more.
offense is putting up 15 runs a game,
That's
Cam, I don't think
fair.
it really
You're right.
matters.
Honestly, they probably need one more infielder if they need anything.
Well, Lux is back. Muncie's back. Taylor can play anywhere.
Well, that's the thing. I think Taylor, you probably want a more of an everyday third baseman. Because you got Muncie's, well, no, I guess Muncie's
Rojas.
your everyday third baseman now because you
Yeah,
have Betts now
Rojas,
playing
too.
second.
True.
Well, and Betts plays second now. So that's their
Yeah.
starting infield is Betts, Lux, Muncie.
Freeman.
And Miggy Rowe will probably be a platoon.
That's
and
going to
then
be so weird seeing Mookie as an everyday second baseman.
Yeah, it's.
he'll win a fucking Gold Glove. He's
Yeah,
going to win a Gold
yeah.
Glove.
Hey, remember when the Red Sox
100%.
had that guy?
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, you told me not to bring things up. You're gonna bring that one.
Yeah. Anyways, want to roll into the final segment, the Rushmore?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
take
can
it
do
away.
that.
Mount Rushmore of iconic Boston/New England sports moments.
Yep. Who
Chris?
who wants to go first? Am I
Well-
going first?
Yep.
It's yours, so you go first.
All right. So I did switch it up a little bit from earlier when Sam was kind of roasting me for speaking too early. Yeah, I
he
see you
spilled
over there.
half his Mount Rushmore in a group chat.
It's
Like from the
fine.
get-go. Like within
It's
3 minutes
fine.
of suggesting what it should be.
I hope you stuck with the same theme, though, Chris. There was a lot of moments you could have picked from that one.
I have
Um,
4 very good ones.
All
Like,
right, so
one rock solid
again, I have 4, but in no specific order on how they rank. I just
in the
went
terms
on-
of the Mount Rushmore. Yes.
So the first one I put down was the 2004 ALCS Game 4. David Ortiz hitting the walk-off bomb in the 12th inning after Dave Roberts stole second base on Jorge Posada's bitch ass. And then coming back to win that series just like as a whole.
Yeah.
It was just iconic. Just that you could tell that moment after Ortiz hit that home run, that series was
Shift.
going to change.
Yeah. The
So
shift.
it was just crazy. Next one I had was Patriots coming back down 28-3 against the Atlanta Falcons.
Mhm.
Obviously, that fucking nobody is ever probably going to do that again. It's fucking impossible. But I was looking at the stats for that game too. Brady threw the ball 62 times in that game.
Yeah.
He was icing his arm like Nolan Ryan after that shit.
Anybody know who got the MVP of that game? Anybody remember?
Wasn't it
Give me a
Edelman?
second.
Wasn't Edelman.
Oh, it was James White.
James White.
Yeah. Yeah.
James White had
Yeah.
14 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown, and then ran for 2 more touchdowns.
And he got the GG tutty too to end it.
did
OT.
get the GG tutty, but Edelman's catch obviously kind of
That's
propelled
that for me. The Edelman catch healed the pain from the David Tyree catch.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
the picture.
It
I have the
healed
picture
the
sitting
pain
right here
from
above
the
me.
David Tyree catch.
Kim
God.
worships that picture.
Oh, fuck yeah, I do. I've been
Little
trying to
thing
get it
I
signed.
saw. So I don't know if you guys saw the whole thing that Asante Samuel is giving Tom Brady a bunch of shit about like how he's not being genuine about his relationship with Bill Belichick, and a bunch of people were flaming him. And I totally forgot about this. Like 2 plays before that David Tyree catch, Asante Samuel dropped an interception that would have won them the game.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that, where he straight up just dropped a pick.
Shooter.
And he
And-
was like
and
a
it
Pro
wasn't-
Bowler for how many years? And he just fucking
and-
dropped the biggest pick of his life.
It wasn't a hard ball to catch either. I think it hit him like right here.
It
didn't
literally hit him in the chest. Yeah,
Yeah.
he just dropped it.
Dumbass. All right, Chris, what do you have the 2?
Next one is going back to another Patriots Super Bowl. Malcolm Butler's interception on the 1-yard line.
Yep.
Fair.
Obviously, an iconic moment in Patriots and sports history.
Shout out Marshawn Lynch.
Why don't you run the ball with Marshawn Lynch? I don't understand.
With if you take a certain time and date of any running back, like in the history of the NFL, Marshawn Lynch at that point, one of the best running backs ever.
Oh yeah.
It's like even today, like thinking about it, I'm a diehard Pats fan. Like thinking of it now, it still makes my brain just
It's
fucking
laughable. Yeah.
It's just and then
My
Russell
favorite is
ahead.
Richard Sherman on the sidelines. Where he's just like,
No, the best is Russell Wilson going back to the sidelines
Yeah,
and
and he
goes,
just goes,
next time. He goes, next time.
yeah, it's like
How
he's
fucking
over.
delusional are you, Russ?
Well, you know what the
Yeah.
payback for Patriots fans are for that one was, Chris?
What?
Losing to the Eagles when Bill Belichick refused to put in Butler.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
another iconic picture from that game was when Tom Brady takes the knee to end the game, and Richard Sherman's over there with his hand extended for like a handshake, and Brady's just
Brady
on
just
a knee
stays on his
holding
knee.
the ball. I'm like fucking cold.
Yep.
Sherman was
then-
also a fucking
Savage.
bitch.
Yeah, he's a fucking clown.
He still is.
I actually kind of like him now as an analyst. I listen to like he
Yeah.
does a lot of the Thursday night games, and
On the Prime,
I actually kind of enjoy
He's pretty
listening to him
he's
now
pretty
on
good to
the
talk.
crew that he has.
Yeah.
And then this last one, I can pretty much almost guarantee none of you had this one. This one's kind of like a deep cut. Isaiah Thomas dropping 53 points on
Yep.
his sister China's birthday.
Yep. That's a
So
good one.
obviously his sister passed away on April 15th, 2017. He continued playing through the playoffs with the C's, and then less than a month later scores 53 points, 29 in the fourth quarter / overtime.
Yeah, that game was like one of those games where you're watching and it didn't feel like real life because he was
Yeah,
playing
but-
like out of his mind.
It's one thing to just do that like on
Oh,
any
yeah,
given
like,
day,
it's
like in a
the-
playoff game, but
yeah.
then doing it on her birthday.
Yeah,
was-
that's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
it's one of those sports moments that goes beyond sport.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like it's amplified to another level, and it's like that's that moment where you're like, he's playing like out of body. Like at that moment, like 29 points in the fourth quarter, and overtime, like he was literally unconscious.
Yeah.
Like just literally could not. That was I remember watching that and just being like not even able to say anything, just being like, what is fucking going on?
yeah.
Like it felt like it felt like a dream or something. It was bizarre.
Yeah. So those are my 4.
I guess I'll take it up. So, I had 2 that were the same as yours, Chris. Well, more specifically, I just said the steal in the 0-4 game 4.
Mhm.
Kevin Millar takes the walk. You send Dave Roberts out there, and everyone and their mother knew that he was going on the first pitch that left Rivera's hand towards the plate, and he basically said,
Hold my
"Fucking
nuts.
beat." He said, "Beat me."
Catch me, bitch.
Yeah, he said, "What?" He said, "I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and you're still not going to fucking beat me." And then, I mean, you also like the guy who doesn't get a lot of credit for it is Bill Miller.
Base hit.
Dude, I mean, he's the one who drove him in to tie the game, and then obviously you have Poppy walk it off. But yeah, I just wrote the steal, and
Yeah.
everyone knows what the steal is.
Yep.
Then number 2, I had the Butler pick as well. Just like one, like the insanity of it that like he did that to win a Super Bowl, but like the fact that they even passed it was just like
While I was writing this down today, I watched the clip of it, and just the play that he made on the ball, like if you watch it and watch the little rub route that Seattle ran and having to have Malcolm make a break on
and he
that play
jumped it
when he did,
so fast. Yeah.
it's just fucking
Well,
blows
and then the best part
my
of the whole
mind.
story is they ran that coverage all week in practice, and he fucked it up
He
every
couldn't get it
single
right.
time.
Yeah.
There's a clip too of Belichick, and I don't know why I just saw it the other day too, but he's like explaining that play,
Mm.
and he's like, Malcolm he couldn't execute it in practice.
Mhm.
We kept telling him like, you have to do this when they run this play, and then obviously when it
It's
matters,
just what happens when you're a
made it
gamer.
happen.
Yeah.
You get elevated. There's this. You reach that next where you can't get there in practice. Only in a game you'll get there, and when you're a gamer, it just happens.
Yeah, just fucking demon.
Number 3, 1970 Stanley Cup overtime winner Bobby Orr when he does the iconic fucking Superman through the air. He scores the game winner to win the Stanley Cup. I mean, like probably one of the most iconic images like in sports ever.
If I was a
Like, just
betting
him
man, one
flying
of these two had that written down as well.
Cam had it.
If
Fuck
not,
off.
Jared definitely did too.
I did not.
Cam
I
had
said
it.
the ones
All right,
that I've
all right, we'll
witnessed
pause
in my
it.
lifetime.
Just
Okay,
curious.
and then so yeah, 1970 Game 4. It was a sweep. That was Game 4. They won it, but just to to net the OT winner.
Walk it off.
And it was
that.
also like I think it was their first cup in like 28 years at that point or something like that. So it was a pretty long gap. Yeah, I think it was something like they had, or 22. Maybe they won it in like 48, and then it went until 70. And then my last one was one that like I vividly remember watching and just being like another like Isaiah Thomas thing where it was like felt like this wasn't real, like we were just on another planet. Was Game 7 of the 2013 Eastern Conference quarters when the Bruins are down 4-1 with 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go. They come back and tie it. And Bergeron hits the game-tying goal with, like, there was, 13 seconds left or something? Like, it was really small amount of time left. And then he goes out and fucking nets the game winner, like, fucking 2 minutes into overtime. That was one of those games where they tied it, and I was like, oh, the game's over.
Yeah,
like, there's no shot in God's green earth that the Leafs score a goal to win this game. It never happened.
Yeah.
Then I had... my honorable mention was I had 2 honorable mentions. So you have both in 2013 for the Red Sox. You have Ortiz's or not walk off, but grand slam to put them ahead in Game 6, where Torrey Hunter goes ass up and the cop has his hands up in the air. And then like a week later was was that in the World Series or was it? Oh, no, so that was Game 5. Ortiz hit that in Game 5 because the series was tied. Then Game 6, the Sox are down 2-1. Max Scherzer works into the 7th. He gives up a base hit. Xander Bogaerts walks. Then Jose Iglesias botched ground ball. And then Shane Victorino comes up, whole crowd singing... was it Free Birds? Yeah, and then he hits a grand slam to put them up 5-2, and then they go to the World Series.
Chest as he's going around the bases.
I think, Chris, you were at my house. I think
I was for that.
You were at my house when we were watching that. Yeah. Like that's one of those ones.
The picture right there.
Yeah, like
right there.
Didn't you?
And then in Game 1 of the World Series, he almost did the exact same thing. Game 1 of the World Series, his first step back came up with the bases loaded and hit a ball off the top of the wall, drove in all 3.
Yeah,
that's what it was. It was a Johnny Gomes double that missed a home run by about this much that started that inning. Those are mine. Obviously, I'm biased towards the baseball side, but I tried to put in some other ones. I couldn't really. The other one I was like thinking for Boston for the Celtics, but it wasn't like an actual Celtics game. It was when Larry Bird showed up. I think it was like the 1985 All-Star game, maybe, and he showed up to the 3-point contest and just walked in the locker room and said he was going to finish second and just waxed the floor. But again, like not like a really Celtics moment, but a Celtic moment. So those are mine.
So
wasn't there a game too where he played left-handed?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yeah, just because. Go ahead, Jerry. You got the floor.
So this one was already mentioned, but the 2013 just Red Sox in general winning the World Series that year, like Band of Bearded Brothers, like marathon. I know we've talked about it before where like the 2018 Red Sox, there was no question that they were going to win.
Yeah, when they won it, it felt like more of a relief when they finished it. I was like, yeah, because they were always supposed to win it.
Yeah.
But like in 13, like it was just a bunch of mini puzzle pieces like thrown together, and it's like, all right, let's see what this season comes
in our lifetime out of the 4 World Series teams. That's the worst team that we had to win a World Series.
Yeah,
because even in 04, they were supposed to be there. It was just a gap since they won it. But 13, that team was not even supposed to make the playoffs.
No.
Yeah,
and I think just the whole thing surrounding it and like just everything around that just was huge.
Yeah, it was like a New England culturally defining moment.
Yeah. We also touched on this one as well, but specifically Julian Edelman's catch in the Pats comeback from 28-3. And my favorite moment is when they show like the mic'd up like moment after. He's like, I caught that, like on the field. He's like, nope, I caught that ball.
He's like, I caught that.
And I forget who the defender was like, no.
Yeah, they show it in slow motion and the ball stays this far off the ground and he just slides his hand under.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Robert Alford who had a pick 6 earlier in the game.
Yeah, it sounds right.
These next 2 are, one of them was like wicked fun to watch but didn't end very well, but the Bruins season last year and just how they finished record wise and like how it hasn't been done in a long time. But of
with
course,
nothing
in
to show
typical
for it.
Yeah,
Bruins fashion,
fine.
they
No
disappointed us
championship
in the
means
playoffs.
nothing to me.
Well, it was still a fun season to watch, but yes, I know.
Jared, you can have.
Celtics have done it.
Jared,
to
don't
us,
turn into the Cowboys, please.
You
I
want a participation trophy, Jerry? Jeez.
This
Bruins
year's our
might be
year.
close.
Don't worry about
Bruins might be the Cowboys of the.
it.
And then, so I had two, and I took Sam's idea of doing an honorable mention, but the last one, I think, iconic-wise, was the Pats losing both Brady and Belichick, because I don't think any of us would ever foresee the day that would come.
Yeah.
I was listening to, I forget what station it was, but somebody was like, I never thought this day would come, that the Patriots would not have Belichick or
Well,
Brady.
because as far
we
as
thought they'd ride off in the sunset together.
Well, as far as we know in our lives, the identity of the Patriots is Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no other
the
team
identity
that's
of
like
New
that.
England has been Belichick and Brady.
That's what I mean. And like this,
Like, you think New England sports is those two
yeah,
guys?
like well, because they're the mainstays, right? Like those
Yeah.
guys have been around longer than anyone else. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, they're just synonymous with the Patriots, and now it's like, because think
It's
about
over.
what other sport
It's
is
over.
there a
It's
player,
weird.
and is there a player and a coach like that?
There isn't.
Like the only one I can think of where you have the combo, like you could have like, was it Don Shula and Dan Marino for a while, but not
exactly.
this long,
It's Don Shula.
Yeah.
It's who Belichick is chasing right now. So it's
right? And then you got like I think like Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like you have
Yeah.
those duos that are so synonymous with a team, and like that's just so rare.
Yeah. And like Chris just said, like, it's weird. Like, it's very weird.
Mhm.
I'm excited for the documentary to come out next month.
it
though.
hasn't hit
Apple
me yet
TV Plus.
completely, but it'll be weird. The first game that I watch of the Patriots next year is like, oh
Yep.
shit, there is no Bill.
I better see a
no
goddamn
Brady.
cutoff sweatshirt on Gerard Mayo, or else.
Yeah, he's not gonna do it. He's gonna do his own
No.
thing.
He's
I
gonna show
see
up in
him being
suit
more
and
of the,
tie
like-
like they did back in the 40s.
I see him more being like the short sleeve shirt kind of guy.
Probably.
Like, no matter
He'll
the
be
weather.
he'll be the short sleeve short. Yeah, like Jared said, short sleeve shirt and shorts in negative 12-degree
I
weather.
want him to pull out the Mike Vrabel sweater vest.
Yep, sign it up.
All right, Cam. Oh, Jared, do you
Oh,
got?
no, I got-
he had
oh,
he had an honorable
I
mention.
have
Sorry.
Sorry. Sam already mentioned it, but
okay.
both in 2013, the Ortiz and Victorino's Grand Slams.
All right.
Those
There,
were-
it's weird. Like
Iconic.
I remember the Ortiz one very vividly, but for some reason, like I just remember the pure like elation of like just losing my mind when Victorino hit that home run. Just
Yeah.
like literally just blowing my lid. And for some reason,
You-
that one just like resonates with me more than the Ortiz one. I don't know why, but it just does.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think just the like reaction of it, and then the singing of the walk up song before, and
Yeah.
just the moment as a
You-
whole.
you
compared
knew
to
something special was going to happen.
Right.
Well, and then
during
and
that
then you
set
were
when they
like
were singing that
together,
song.
Chris, too. Like I think that plays
Yeah.
to it too. Like I can remember the moment so much more vividly.
Yeah. Like Ortiz's was special and Fenway was going nuts, but just like the react, like he acted like he'd been there before. Like,
Because he
I
had
don't know,
a
it just
bajillion
wasn't as
times.
much of a hype. Yeah. Just
Yeah,
wasn't as
Victorino
much
rounds
like that.
first, and he's fucking pounding his chest.
Yeah.
So I will say, so number one, I'll start just saying Bobby Orr as well, like Sam was saying.
Yep.
Just there's a fucking statue made of that
Yeah,
one play
literally.
outside the Garden. Like, but other than that, I'd have to say going back to 2004, just Castiglione's call of the final out of the World Series when the Red Sox finally
Ground
won
ball,
it.
back to Folk. Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The 2004 Red Sox are world champions.
I just-
Can
You
you
guys know
believe
Joe
it?
Castiglione was a member of the Bush League Boys?
Joe
crazy.
Castiglione is like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
I love Joe Castiglione.
Yeah, you guys are twins.
Yikes.
You're like Boomer
All right.
Esiason. Shut your
All
mouth
right.
over there.
Easy. And then I'm actually shocked that this one got all the way back around to me, but Ryan Brazier telling Gary Sanchez to get the fuck back in the box and then promptly
Elite
striking
defender
him out.
Gary Sanchez?
Yes, absolutely.
Soon to be Red Sox starting catcher Gary
that's
Sanchez.
that's just
Oh,
disgusting.
God.
Don't say that out loud.
That's happening.
No, it's not.
Blake Snell's gonna be our ace too.
That I'll give, but not Gary Sanchez.
Now, did you see what Snell wants?
No.
$290 million plus. Yeah, he wants like
Does he know the Red Sox?
he wants
can't
like
count
8
that?
years or something like that.
Jared,
We can give him $44 and some double bubble.
Jared, did
I'll
you
come
listen
hang out
to
with
the
him. That
podcast
means
we
anything,
did
you know?
when we broke down the amount of money contracts Red Sox ownership was given out?
If it was after like episode 9, no, because I'm like
is then.
15
It's
behind.
We found out they haven't given out.
Hey, I
like,
tried.
What was it? They gave out three $300,000 contracts, and that's
$300.
$300 contracts. They haven't given out probably the least amount in the league. But and then fourth one, it's coming back 28-3. That's just, I love that Super Bowl so much.
Yeah, I think
is,
the 28-3 Super Bowl and the Bruins coming back against the Maple Leafs is like very similar. Like the
Just
feeling.
like one more,
It's just like
one more touch point on that Super Bowl game was when the like White scored the touchdown, but they had to review it, and everybody's like all on the field, like the media and all that. And Edelman's like, "Get the fuck off the field! Get the fuck off the
he's
field!"
like,
and then
over. It's not
and then
over.
Belichick comes up to him and he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Is it over? They reviewed it," and then they just hug each other.
But Belichick responds in the most nonchalant way.
Yeah, he's like,
Ellen's
"Yeah."
like, "Is it over?" He's like, "Yeah." Did they review it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
It was probably like, you want a Super Bowl? Can you fucking take it a little easy? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
you
It's like,
celebrate,
stop.
please?
We've
Come
had
on.
enough controversy around this team. I don't need any more.
Yeah, he
Then,
goes, we're actually starting prep for next season tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Yikes.
That was what, 2018,
yes.
Yeah. Super
and they
Bowl
won it the next year
51.
too, right?
No.
No, the next
What,
year.
when was
No.
it when they beat the Rams?
No, 2018 was the Rams.
Well, it was the
The-
17-18,
Oh, 17. Yeah,
it was
And
17,
then-
18. No.
and then 18-19 was when they beat the Rams. I thought.
No,
No, 'cause that would've been
I was
Brady's
at
last year.
1920. What? No.
No, because
No.
Brady didn't
I
play
don't
for
know.
us in 20. Or no, did he?
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
God damn it.
We
Because
suck.
he didn't. Brady's last season, he did not win a Super Bowl. They lost. They lost in the playoffs.
It was
Yeah,
seven-
it was at his
No.
last game. They won it in
'Cause
2017 was the Falcons, 2019 was
Yeah.
the Rams.
I thought so. Yeah.
I was gonna say because I was still at Worcester State for the
Wow, that was
Falcons.
2017. That was almost, oh, boy.
Yeah, we're old.
Junior year, our
Yeah.
junior year at college.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
An honorable mention, and this is more of a personal anecdote for Sam and I. We went out to Buffalo Wild Wings one day watching, I think it was a playoff game. I forget which one, but JBJ was up to bat. Sam looks at me and goes, "All right, if he hits a home run right here, we're getting another beer." He hits a fucking home run.
Dude, and it wasn't no wall scraper either. Dude, I think it was against Houston.
It was.
I think it might have been the 18 ALCS, maybe.
I was like, was it 8? It must have been.
Yeah, when they just beat,
100%.
when they beat
Yeah.
the living shark out of the.
Because
out
I
of
was
the
at
Astros.
I was at a bar when that series ended. It was a Thursday night.
Yeah. We were at Wild Wings. Sam looks at me and goes, "All right, here's the deal."
Yeah,
If
we were
JBJ
about to
hits a
leave, but it
home
was
run
like the
right
8th
here-
inning. I was like, he
Yeah.
goes, "Young, we'll get another beer." Next pitch, cock shot. I was like, all right,
All right, get another one. Let's go.
You know what? Another one I just would have thought of from that World Series is Nathan Eovaldi's
Ballsy
relief
performance.
Oh my God.
In whatever game that was. I just
Game
remember
4.
being out. I just remember being out at the bar until like 1:30 a.m. when they game 5.
I think the best part about that was that
Even though they
the
lost.
Dodgers beat the Red Sox in 18 innings, and
Still
beat
lost
them
the
like-
series.
they beat them like 4-3, and they tweeted "damage done." It's
Yeah.
like it took you fucking 18 innings to score 4 runs. Yeah, because it was, I think it was game 3, because they only played 5 games in that series.
Yeah, I thought it was game 4. Then they went on and won it in game 5.
Yeah, 'cause it would've been-
It
It was the first game in LA that they did that.
So okay,
Because
so
1 and
Oh,
2 were in
right.
Boston. Game 3
Yeah.
was the first game in LA. Then they won 4, and then they clinched it in 5.
yeah, that's right.
Because
Yeah, I
then
remember.
6 and 7 would have been back in Boston.
I remember in like the 13th inning, I was like, "Shit, I have an
Yeah, it
8
was
a.m.
game
tomorrow
3.
morning."
It was
Like,
3-2.
I'm not going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jared, I think 1:30 is an understatement. It was
I think it was
later
like
than that.
2:33.
Yeah, it was almost
That
3
might
in
have
the
been-
morning.
So that might have been what time like they kicked us out of the bar.
But,
'cause
like,
it was
ultimately,
closing.
like,
And
if
then
you-
I had to listen to it. at
If
home.
you really think about it, we lost that game. Nathan Eovaldi won us that series
Yeah, absolutely. He
By-
saved our
by
bullpen by
being
doing that.
going that deep into
Yeah.
that. So I remember the first thing, like, because he came in what, the 11th?
Yeah.
Something?
I was
Yeah,
I
gonna say,
remember
didn't
like,
he
it
go,
was like the
7
10th
innings?
and 11th, and they used like 3 relievers in those 2 innings. I'm like, we're going to be fucked if we lose this game. because we're going to burn through our whole bullpen. And then Eovaldi just goes out and goes, yeah, don't worry about it, guys. I'll just shove for 7 innings in a game I didn't even start.
Hold my beer.
You know what the funniest part of that whole thing was? That whole series really is? You know who never touched the field at all?
Brian
Drew
Breeder?
Pomeranz.
Oh, he's on the team though, right?
He was.
Oh,
He was on the
God.
team, but he was the least trusted pitcher. I think they would
he
put
was
out a
so
position
bad.
player. He was awful.
He was really bad.
That's a name you haven't heard of in a long time.
What, Drew
Yeah.
Pomeranz?
I got a little deep cut name, a 2013 World Series champion with the Red Sox. Maybe you don't remember. Quentin Berry.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Quentin Berry.
Let's ring a
Who
bell.
got him from the Tigers? I think he played 3 games for us. Somehow made the playoff roster, made all 3 series rosters, and got a ring.
Good for that guy.
Yeah.
I
think
no
he's
clue who that is.
I want to say he's a base coach for somebody now.
No
Wow.
idea.
His career, he went 2012 played
This is
for
like
Detroit,
Wuhan, Sam.
2013 Boston, 2014 Baltimore, 2015 Chicago.
First base coach for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yep.
Am I right?
One of those guys who had a really short career, but like just played for really good teams the whole time he was in the league.
Detroit, Boston, Baltimore, Chicago, and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
1 season each.
3 career home runs.
That's good, right?
I think they really just use him as a pinch runner, if I remember correctly.
6 triples. Good for that guy.
21.
Yeah. 36 stolen bases.
Yeah, I think he kinda
36
had-
stolen bases.
He
Only
had
got caught
burners.
twice.
Yeah,
Wow.
he had burners. Good for him, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
right.
Anything else?
That wrap us?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, skis.
All right. Well, we will be back to probably hopefully regular schedule Sunday night.
Yeah, the holiday weekend
Just-
kind of fucked us
Yeah,
up.
just a weird week with the holiday. We had some stuff going on yesterday, so I'm just glad we were able to get it in this week. But yep, we will be back next Monday.
See you next
Appreciate
week.
y'all tuning in. Go tell your mom, sister, cat, dog, pet iguana, armadillo
Fish.
to watch the Bush League Boys.
Giraffe.
Factual. Post it on Facebook. Post it on MySpace. I don't know. Do what you got to do.
Share it.
AIM
Slap face.
status.
All right.
Cool.
We go.
Peace.
Later.
Uh-oh.